Hi everyone, today we're going to be going through the 2020 electoral maps. We're going to be giving you guys an update on what to expect in terms of the presidential race and the Senate race. A lot of people have been asking about, when are you going to do these kind of why did the Democrats win? Why did the Democrats lose? Why did Trump win? All of that stuff and what the Democrats need to do to improve, looking ahead at 2022, 2024 already. And there will be plenty of time to do all of those things, but right now we do need to focus on who's actually going to win the election, and there will be lots of time to discuss all of the different reasons why this election turned out how it did, comparing it to my prediction, comparing it to the polling, all that stuff we will have time to do, but right now we do need to focus on the results and not get sidetracked. So let's go ahead and look at the state of Nevada. So right now Trump is leading by 1.8%, 88% in from Clark County, 95% in from Reno, and then most of these other places there might still be a bit, but if you look at the actual vote count, there is barely any vote in from there. Clark County, you won't be able to see because it's slightly off the screen, but I'll just read it out to you: 53.7 to 44.5%. 88% reporting, and so Las Vegas, that is really a key. That's a Democratic backbone area there in Clark County. Sorry about that. But right now we're gonna still have more vote in. It's gonna be favorable to Biden. Biden will win the state of Nevada. Moving on to the state of Alaska. Alaska, we're expecting to go to Donald Trump. Really, it's still way too early to say about Alaska. Al Gross has put out a statement to say that he thinks he's going to win Alaska. That's a pretty traditional thing that campaigns do. I'd be surprised if he does pull it out in the end. It's just too early. We have to wait for quite a few more days until we get full Alaska results. Moving on to the state of Arizona, 49.6 to 48.6. This one has been tightening, so right now they're 1 percentage points different. 95% of the vote is in. We are holding here. We are holding for results from Maricopa County, 95% in. A lot of these folks have 95% in. I don't think they're breaking it down. Yeah, that is a bit disappointing that they're not breaking it down there in a more detailed way. But 95% in Maricopa County. Biden has just passed over 1 million votes in Maricopa County alone, and we are holding here in Maricopa. Expect this will narrow a bit more, but in the end of the day, we expect Arizona to move to Joe Biden, and those two states alone would put Biden over the top. 270 electorals support for Joe Biden. Moving on to the state of Pennsylvania. This one, I'm surprised we have not seen a call here already. We are still waiting for results to come in from Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, 95% in, Delaware, Delaware County. We are still waiting here, 95% in Chester, Montgomery County. We are still waiting here in the Philadelphia area, Philadelphia suburbs. But we are holding here in the state of Pennsylvania. I'm surprised the networks aren't calling it. This is a 0.5%. It's going to keep expanding. So really, we should be looking at a call in Pennsylvania relatively soon. But networks are holding off, mostly because if they gave Biden any of these states, it would put him over the top. 270 electorals. Next state, the state of North Carolina. This one, I'm surprised it's not being called for Donald Trump, because we are holding here a little bit in Wake, Chatham, Guilford, Winston-Salem, Charlotte. We are still waiting here, but a lot of these Republican precincts already are full results, so maybe this tightens a bit more, but Trump is still probably going to win the state of North Carolina. Georgia's really interesting here. They are very tight here in Georgia. We are holding here in Columbus. We are holding in Chatham. Definitely, we are still holding there in the precinct of Chatham. Right now, you won't be able to see it. It's off the screen, but just quick math, you would say 78,000 votes minus 53,000 votes. That's what, 25,000 or so votes apart, 95% in, so maybe Biden increases by 3,000. That's gonna add to his vote total. In Chatham County, Augusta, we are still waiting here, and then obviously the Fulton area and DeKalb County. Fulton, we are still waiting here, 72% of the vote. 95% in, Biden with 72% of the vote. 370 minus 136. 377 minus 136, you're looking at 200 and about, what is that, 270 minus 30 is 40, so probably about 240,000 votes and change in Fulton County that Biden's leading by. If you do the math on that, 95% of 240, you would be able to figure that out. And then we're still probably waiting on a couple thousand votes to come in here from Fulton County, maybe 10,000 more Biden votes to come in from Fulton County, and that's again going to increase Biden's lead. And so you can really start to paint a picture here. If Georgia holds, it's going to go for Biden. North Carolina holds, going to go for Trump. Pennsylvania holds, going to go for Biden. Arizona holds, Biden. Nevada holds, Biden. And really now 93% reporting in Nevada, 95% in Arizona, 96% in Pennsylvania, 98% in North Carolina, and 99% reporting in Georgia. Alaska is very slow here, but that's not the end of the world at the end of the day, because even just with the states Biden's leading now, he gets well over 270. He would be at 306 with those states. What is Trump's path? And I think his path is pretty much closed, in my opinion. One thing he'd definitely have to do, he'd have to somehow claw back in Georgia. Not impossible, but he'd have to take Georgia, he'd have to take North Carolina, and he'd have to take Pennsylvania. These are all must wins, and I really don't see how he crawls back in the state of Pennsylvania, but he would have to figure out through lawsuits, whatnot, in the state of Pennsylvania. And then on top of all that, he would have to obviously take Alaska, and then take either the state of Nevada or the state of Arizona. So that's the state of play, and I don't see Trump crawling back in any way, any significant way. That's why I'm comfortable calling the election for Joe Biden. In the Senate, it's a pretty different picture. Right now in the state of Maine, Susan Collins 50.5%, Sarah Gideon 42.8%. This one's CNN hasn't called it, but I'm ready to call it. Susan Collins winning her re-election there. North Carolina, Thom Tillis, Cal Cunningham, again 97% in. Mecklenburg, we are still waiting a little bit. Winston-Salem is over here, 89%. Greensboro, Raleigh. These are the precincts we're still waiting. There is a bit of Democratic vote, but really they haven't been able to run up the margins in North Carolina like they had wanted to. In the Georgia Senate, this will go to a runoff, so we're not going to deal with that. This one is also going to run off. There will be time for predictions on those runoff races at a later date right now. We are not discussing that right now. And then obviously the Alaska Senate race. If we assume Maine holds for Susan Collins, North Carolina holds for Thom Tillis, and Alaska holds for Dan Sullivan, they are at 50 seats. And then it comes down to these Georgia runoffs in January. So that's going to be very interesting to take a look at. So that's it for today's video, guys. I'll be coming at you guys again with more updates to the race. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all soon. Good night.